Never ever put these 10 products on your face after the age of 50. They are quietly adding years to your skin every single morning, and nobody will tell you. I'm a makeup artist with 30 years in this business, and today I'm naming every one of them, plus exactly what to use instead. The last one takes 15 years off your face. Your own family might not recognize you. Before we count down, let me introduce myself properly. I'm 51. I've spent 30 years behind the makeup chair, from bridal suites in Seoul to television studios where the lights forgive absolutely nothing. Thousands of women over 50 have sat down in front of my mirror, and nearly every one of them was carrying at least 3 of the products on this list. Products they bought because a counter girl half their age promised miracles. So go get your makeup bag, open it up on the counter, and follow along with me, because we're starting at number 10. And number 1 is the foundation swap that decides whether everything else even works. Number 10, setting powder. I know you've been dusting it over your face since the 90s because someone told you it locks everything in place. On young skin, maybe. On mature skin, powder is the fastest route to looking 10 years older by lunchtime. It sinks into every fine line, it drinks up whatever moisture your skin was holding onto, and by mid-afternoon, the whole face reads dry and dusty under any light you stand in. Watch a woman over 50 powder her face in a bathroom mirror, and you can see the years land in real time. The swap is Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. A few fine mists over your finished makeup held at arm's length, and everything melds together and stays put while the skin still looks lit and alive. It gives you the hold powder always promised, without the dust. That fixes your finish, but the color on your cheeks might be aging you too. Number 9, powder blush. Same problem, different spot on your face. Powder blush grabs onto dry patches, sits on top of the skin, and flattens the cheek instead of lifting it. And after 50, placement matters more than ever, because gravity has already moved things south, and dragging color low on the cheek drags the whole face down with it. What you want instead is Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge. It's a cream in a little pot, it melts straight into the skin, and it gives that warm, flushed, alive color that powder simply cannot fake. One press with your fingertip, high on the cheekbone, then blend up toward the temple. Up, always up. That single motion lifts the entire face. From here on out, the rule is cream where you used to reach for powder, and nowhere does that matter more than around your eyes, which is exactly where we're going next. Number 8, shimmery highlighter dusted around the eyes. Glitter after 50 settles into crepey skin and magnifies every crease it touches, but dull, tired-looking eyes age you just as fast as any wrinkle does. The fix costs you 10 seconds. 1 dot of NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the inner corner of each eye, tapped in with your ring finger, tapped, never swiped, because swiping shears the product thin and tugs at that delicate skin. Pressed in gently, it catches the light and wakes up the entire eye area without a single speck of glitter, and it's creamy enough that it won't crack or crease by dinner. My clients call it the Brightening Tap, and it reads as well-rested rather than made up. Speaking of made up, the next mistake is the one doing more damage than anything else so far. Number 7, full coverage foundation layered across the entire face. When a dark spot or a patch of redness appears, the instinct is to bury the whole face in heavy product. And that is exactly how you end up wearing a mask. Skin over 50 has texture and movement, and heavy coverage cracks and cakes on top of it by mid-morning. The smarter move is spot fixing with Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. Tap the sponge applicator directly onto the discoloration, pat the edges soft with your finger, and leave the rest of your skin completely alone. Real skin showing through is what makes makeup look expensive. The spot disappears and everything around it still looks like you. But covering spots and covering lines are 2 different jobs. And for the deeper lines, you need something that works underneath your makeup, not on top of it. Number 6. Piling product into your deepest lines and hoping. The lines across the forehead, at the corners of the eyes, around the mouth. Anything layered on top of a line settles straight into it and traces it in beige. The trick is to fill before you cover. The Milk Blur stick goes on first, pressed directly into those deeper lines with a fingertip. It's a silky balm that fills the groove so the surface goes smooth, and then foundation glides right over instead of sinking in and setting up camp. Press it in, don't swipe it. Swiping wipes it back out of the very line you just filled. 30 years in this business, and that little stick still feels like a magic trick to me. And if the texture on your nose and cheeks grabs foundation the same way, the next fix costs less than your lunch. Number 5. Blurring powders and mattifying products for texture. Visible pores and rough patches grab foundation like Velcro, and the powder-based fixes just add more dust to the pile. The NYX Pore Filler costs under $10 and quietly outperforms primers at 4 times the price. Press it into the zones where your foundation always breaks up first, usually the nose, the chin, and the center of the cheeks. Pressed in, never swiped, it fills the texture so the surface stops grabbing and your foundation finally lays down smooth and even. Under $10, I keep 3 of them in my professional kit, and I am not ashamed to say it. If this list is already changing how you look at your makeup bag, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I share 30 years of backstage tricks for women our age every single week. Now back to the countdown, because the under-eye mistake at number 4 might be the one you made this morning. Number 4, heavy, full coverage concealer under the eyes. The skin under your eyes is the thinnest on your entire face, and it never stops moving. Every blink, every smile, every squint. Heavy concealer cannot move with it, so it cracks, creases, and collects in the fine lines by 10 in the morning, and then it sits there announcing the exact thing you were trying to hide. The L'Oreal Age Perfect Concealer was built for this job. It's lightweight and flexible enough to move with the skin instead of cracking on top of it, with just enough pigment to soften the darkness. Tap a small amount from the inner corner outward with your ring finger and then stop. Less product under the eye always reads younger, but even the right concealer will fail if the base underneath it fails, which brings us to number 3. Number 3, mattifying primers or skipping primer altogether. If your skin feels tight and dry by mid-morning and everything on top starts separating and sliding, that's not your skin failing, that's your base. Mature skin runs dry, and dry skin gives makeup nothing to hold on to. The ELF Power Grip Primer is $9, and it's a slightly tacky, hydrating gel that grips your makeup to your face. Smooth a thin layer over your moisturizer, give it 1 minute to get tacky, and suddenly the foundation that used to break apart by noon is still sitting pretty at 5 o'clock. Grip, not grease. And the step that comes before primer is the one almost everyone skips, even though it might be the most important thing on this list apart from number 1. Number 2. Matte stripping moisturizers, or worse, nothing at all under your makeup. Hydration before coverage. If I could write one rule on every bathroom mirror in the world, it would be that one. Mature skin is dry skin, and dry skin makes everything on top cake, crack, and slide into lines by noon. Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream is thick and rich, and it plumps the skin so your lines soften before you've applied a single drop of makeup. Warm it between your palms and press it in with flat hands. Forehead, cheeks, chin, and down the throat, because the throat tells the truth on all of us. Give it 5 minutes to sink in while you do your hair. Skin prepped this way carries makeup all day instead of fighting it. And now your skin is finally ready for the product that decides whether this entire routine works or falls apart. Number 1, traditional foundation. The kind most of us have worn our entire adult lives. On skin over 50, it sits on the surface like a coat of paint. It oxidizes orange an hour after you leave the house. It collects in every line by noon, and under afternoon light, it reads like a mask floating on top of a face instead of actual skin. You can do every other step on this list perfectly, and the wrong foundation will still undo all of it. The one I use now on my clients and on my own 51-year-old face is the Luxe Color Changing Foundation. It comes out white and transforms to match your exact skin tone as you blend, so there's no more guessing shades under bad drugstore lighting and no more turning orange by lunch. Instead of sitting on the surface, it melts into the skin and blurs the look of fine lines rather than collecting in them. It's that your skin but better finish women have been chasing through a drawer full of half-used bottles. Dewy without being greasy, covered without being caked. Warm one pump between your fingers and press it in, working from the center of the face outward. I have watched this foundation take a decade and a half off a face in the time it takes to blend, and after 30 years, I do not say that lightly, it's currently Amazon's best-selling foundation. The link is in the description, or scan the QR code on your screen right now. So let's put your new routine in order. Magic Cream pressed in first with flat hands, Power Grip Primer over it, Pore Filler and the Blur Stick pressed into texture and lines. Then Luxe Foundation melted in from the center of the face outward. Age Rewind tapped only on spots. Age Perfect tapped lightly under the eyes. The NARS Brightening dot in each inner corner. Pot Rouge pressed high on the cheekbone and blended up. and a few mists of setting spray to finish. Not one speck of powder anywhere near your face. Try it tomorrow morning, then go look at your skin at 4 in the afternoon because that is when you'll see the difference. If this helped you, subscribe and tell me in the comments which of these 10 you've been wearing because I read every single one. 30 years in, and I am still rooting for your face.